Jupiter. Doo 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 doo. It's Kaipacha with the weekly Pele report for Wednesday, June 25th. And yes, indeed, it's a new moon in Cancer. The only little bit of a downer might be that it's square to Saturn Neptune, which I talked a little bit about last week. And after this new moon, of course, by Friday, she is going to be going into Leo, and just conjuncting Mercury, and trining that Saturn Neptune, opposing Pluto. I mean, yeah, we got some big stuff going on after this new moon, and then by Sunday, she's going to go into Virgo. So the weekend, happy weekend, moon moving through Leo with the sun Jupiter still kind of, still in effect, we could say. But check this out. I don't know where I'm going to be by the time I do the Pele report. This is not Wednesday really here for me. I'm traveling down the coast of Northern California. I'm north of Trinidad by Big Lagoon. And I got to pause and just give you a little view of this canyon because it's like a tropical rainforest, isn't it? Only it's not tropical plants. I don't know if you can hear the waves of the ocean out there or the birds, but it's pretty amazing. Speaking of hearing, let's talk about Mercury. Because Mercury is moving through the end of Cancer and will actually be going into Leo tomorrow, Thursday, okay, and making one aspect after another. It trines Saturn on Friday, trines Neptune on Saturday, and opposes Pluto on Sunday. So, yeah, I'll be talking a little bit about that for sure. And then, yeah, like I say, Mercury is shifting out of watery Cancer into fiery Leo. So that's going to be a little head shift for everybody. And, yeah, last but not least, the sun is going to be sextile Mars tomorrow. Yeah. So that's about it. I'd say there's just one more thing that if you look at it, it's very unusual, but in my aspectarian, I got that there are no aspects on Monday. Not the moon, not any planets to anything. Of course, we know that that's not really possible. If we take into account all the asteroids and Black Moon Lilith and Eris and blah, 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 and the moon's nodes and everything, there's always aspects, but yeah, it's really something when there's no major aspects going on. I'm very interested to see what next Monday is going to be like because it may be that we feel very disconnected, discombobulated, fragmented. Nothing is connecting with anything else. So mark your calendar for next Monday. See how you feel. We could take a little poll next Wednesday. Anyway, let me look at the camera and talk to you about this week's astrology. All right, everybody. This may be a little bit of a crazy Pele report. It's been a crazy day. Life is going crazy. I don't know about you, but I've been traveling a little bit through here, Northern California. I'm in a boat right now. We're going to be paddling a little bit here for this so I don't run into the shore. But yeah, how about that opening Fern Canyon over there on the beautiful northern coast of California, Mendocino County. And I've made it here to my brother's house. Sun in conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. Family. I'm connecting with the family. I hope you're connecting with your family, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health. But this is a time, Jupiter is in Cancer for a year, and it's family, and it's the past, it's our childhood, it's our emotional needs for nurturing, for emotional connection, for safety, for security. And these are the very issues that very many of us may be dealing with now, coming around to what is home, where do I belong, what makes me safe, what scares me. And we can feel it. It's very interesting. The United States is a Cancer country, born on July 4th, 1776. That is our Cancer. And the world situation very often can mirror the collective consciousness, very often mirrors what's going on, yes, in the collective unconscious, and it affects so many of us. Yeah. But it's so first thing I want to mention is, number one, this weekend, Sunday, I am going into much greater depth and detail for a 2-hour webinar. I'm going to take this Jupiter Sun, more Jupiter, okay, because that Jupiter is a slow-moving planet, square to Saturn conjunct Neptune. And I'm going to take it through the 12 houses of your birth chart. So if you know your chart, grab your chart, have your chart, see where this is happening for you personally, because Cancer is concerned with what is happening to me personally. We are personable beings, right? And so, as we spin around on the boat of life, on the waters of the spirit, anything can happen. Yeah. So, that's happening. But what I really want to look at this week, what the mantra is about, and it's really interesting because this Jupiter, like I've said before, it's at a 90-degree square to Saturn Neptune. It's breaking free. It's breaking out. And what is Saturn? Saturn is the Lord of karma. Saturn is responsibility. And in some ways, it's our responsibility to others. It's our duty and responsibility to our family, to society, to the world, to the collective, to our employees, or our city, our community. So here's Jupiter wanting to be safe and secure and nurtured and loved, and may not be so easy. Yeah, because there are other people in the world that need to also be taken into consideration. And I want to read to you, if I can turn the boat around. Geez Louise, so the sun is not behind me. I want to read to you the Sabian symbol, because it's pretty heavy. That's why I was going to say, this could be a little bit of a serious Pele report. It's the key words for this Sabian symbol are that it is about karmic retribution. This is the Sun conjunct Jupiter at the 5th degree of Cancer. Yeah. And it is at a railroad crossing. An automobile is wrecked by a train. The tragic results which are likely to occur when the individual's will pits itself carelessly against the power of the collective will of society. The automobile symbolizes the individualized consciousness, eager to pursue its own course of action, regardless of how it may conflict with the collective consciousness of the community, the train. The symbol implies that at this early stage of the new process, which began with the 7th scene, all such individual and relatively anarchistic or law-defying attempts are bound to fail. The driver may live, but his car will be wrecked. Ooh, man. Lest we consider this phase totally negative, we should realize that most of the time, man learns his lessons through relatively destructive experiences. Yeah. The via negativa of the mystic, or even the strange occult concept expounded in some sects as salvation through sin. One may speak here more generally of karmic readjustment. Not a pretty Sabian symbol for a Sun conjunct Jupiter, oh my goodness. So we need to really delve deeply into this whole situation, right? That you can't always get what you want. I'm feeling like the song for this week actually should be, should I stay or should I go? Do, 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 do. We've got Mercury moving through the final degrees of Cancer. It's going to, come into an opposition with Pluto when it, goes into Leo. And it's time to talk. It's time to share. It's time to think about, not only ourselves and our immediate security, but those of our family, those of our loved ones, and even our community. Even we could say our nation. Yeah. So, it's really a time of tapping deeply into the waters of intuition. And here is where Cancer can get a little tricky, because in the innocent, naive child, there is what we call superstition. And we have to kind of just really wonder sometimes, what is superstition versus intuition? Is what I am feeling, is what I am, drawn towards or afraid of and wanting to move away from, is this, just a superstitious kind of energy that, is from my past and from my mother and from my DNA and my father and my family? Or am I intuitively really picking up, on a greater reality of what is going to be really good for me and my loved ones? Yeah. So, it's just a real challenge as Jupiter in Cancer says, expand, do more, stay home, tap into your feelings, tap into your inner child, tap into your needs, be still, listen inwardly. So it's, and then we've got Saturn back there, like the stagecoach driver holding back. It's like Jupiter wants to go forward, wants to break out, wants to break free. Let's buy that new house. Let's start a new family. Let's yeah. And Saturn is back there going, whoa, no, hold on. Let's look at the past. Let's look at what you've done. Let's look at what you've created so far. Before you go expanding more, it's time to really look at the effects, of what's been going on. So we've got this karmic retribution. That karmic word, karma has got such a heavy thing to it, I mean, very simply, we can say that it's, every action equals an opposite reaction. What goes around comes around. What I put out comes back to me. But we cannot limit it to one lifetime. We can't just say, I have been a good person, okay, for the last 20, 30, 40 years, and I don't deserve to have this hard time, or I don't deserve these problems. I've been dealing with a ton of problems today. I just want to say I am very aware of the glitches that have been happening in my last few Pele reports. And I've spent most of today, okay, dealing with downloading and reloading, and I got to look at my drivers. I could have a broken computer. It's not my phone. It's not the camera. It's only when I go, to make it into a video. And so I've been having all these problems. I come out here and I broke the paddle, on the canoe. And then I set up my tripod and I broke the tripod. This has been like one thing after another. It's like a train wreck. I've been dealing with a freaking train wreck right now. And you may be dealing with a little bit of a train wreck in some aspect, in some portion of your life, because Saturn is really, conjunct Neptune. It's telling us. It's telling us. It's like, what's done, what's over, what's complete, what is no longer viable. It's the close of an old identity, an old way of being, an old way of surviving or living in society, in the world, of our jobs and things like that. It's very, very interesting. And so this Mercury trining into Saturn Neptune says, you know what? This is a really great time to meditate. This is a really great time to feel into, talk about, share your feelings, share your concerns, share your fears, share your needs with those who are close to you. And, the only thing is, and I would say that the challenge is to, and like I'm going to be talking about in the mantra this week, right? It's like Cancer can also be, the shadow of Cancer can be possessiveness. It can be demanding, emotionally demanding. It can really be jealous and, revengeful and like really very, very concerned with our own emotional needs and with our own fears and with our own security, that we expect other people, or we demand other people, or we cry and we do tantrums, and I've got to have this, I've got to have that, and we get all emotional and we let it all out, and it's like, whoa. It's something to really, Saturn says, take responsibility for meeting many of your own needs. And really step into a place. Venus is coming into a conjunction with Uranus in Taurus. It's like, meet your own needs, become more self-sufficient. This is a time of, yes, I may need this or be afraid of that or want that, but you know what? I've got to do this myself. I can't demand or expect that mom or dad or my spouse or beloved or my kids are going to take care of me or take care of that or take care of this. It's really saying we are responsible so much for our own realities, and we are so responsible for really, reaching out. I always think that spirit is, it's like they say, God is a jealous God. Yeah? Spirit wants us to call on spirit, right? Call on spirit for our own guidance, for our dreams, for our understanding, for, where to go and what to do, and not be laying it on other people, and not be asserting or demanding, yeah? And I think we can see this on the world stage. I think we can see this, with the bombing and the war that's going on here. One part of it is karmic retribution, okay, but there's this other part that, I want to be safe and I want to be secure. And so I'm going to cripple you, or I'm going to bother you, or I'm going to expect you to negotiate, and I'm going to expect you to meet my needs, and I'm going to, and I'm going to bomb you if you don't. I mean, it's just like, this is childish. This is so, yeah, it's kind of a nasty situation, right, in this world. So it's that, and then that's what our mantra is about today. Let me pull it out here. It's just like really allow other people, their freedom. Okay, it's like, yes, I may be afraid, or I may need security, or I may need support, or but you know what? I'm gonna talk to Spirit, and I'm gonna get my needs met without expecting or demanding, okay, you to do this or meet that or say this or not say that, or, be who I want you to be, or, take care of me. It's like, let's leave everyone in peace, and leave others free to choose. If they want to help us, okay, that's fine. If they don't want to help us, or if they want to go, become more self-sufficient, or, make their own nuclear energy, or do this, that, or the other thing. I mean, it's just like, let's not be controlling. This Cancer Capricorn axis is the security axis, and it can be about control. And, it's like, it's the ego that wants control. And the soul knows, right, that Spirit is in control. So the mantra for this week is, when feeling, speaking, and fulfilling my needs, I won't make demands, but leave others free. So talk about it, share it. Maybe ask for it, right? Don't be afraid to, assert, your fears or your needs, or what you're feeling, sharing it all without the demand or without the expectation that, it's up to somebody else, to rescue me, or it's up to somebody else to save me. It's up to somebody else to, make sure that I'm okay, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So, then you can have dialogue, then you can have intimacy, then you can have, real togetherness and real sharing. And this is kind of the threshold. This Jupiter is breaking free. Okay, it's breaking out that 90-degree square from Saturn. And you can find it, like I said, on Sunday, where, which houses it falls in, how it's happening for you personally. But this is kind of a threshold. It's kind of an initiation. It's kind of like time to let go of the old stone and jump onto the new stone so you can make your way across the river. Yeah, babe. And of course, we got that, the moon's coming around, and it's going to be a new start, right? This new moon is going to, really shine the light and open us up. Last thing I want to just bring up is that Jupiter is called the Great Benefic, but he not only brings us, okay, abundance and prosperity and opportunity, but he also, okay, removes limitations. And this removing of limitations can be the removal of a limiting relationship, the removal of a limiting job, the removal of a limiting identity. So understand that Saturn, Neptune is maybe taking things away from us that need to go away from us. And we may experience these as loss, but if we turn our attitude around, if we turn our, and step into faith, that Spirit is supporting us in every move, and if something goes out of our lives, it's because we don't need it. And it's not helping us evolve. It's not helping us grow. As much as, we may miss it, or we may think that it's essential, or we may blah, 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 blah. It's just like, nope. you know, don't wait for the train wreck, okay? Don't, you may lose your car, you may lose whatever, you may lose, a lot of things, but you know what? You can't lose what you never had. Oh my God, that would be a good song for this week. By the Allman Brothers. It's a pretty old one, but I love the Allman Brothers. You can't lose what you never had. We come into this life with nothing, and we're going to go out of this life with nothing. And, let's enjoy, what we're given and what we have, and not be in a place of not being grateful and not being, really thankful for what we do have. So let's focus on the glass is half full of something instead of missing, and half empty with, with nothing else. Let it go, baby. Let it go. One more time. When feeling, speaking, and fulfilling my needs, I won't make demands, but leave others free. Let's hold on to that Aries freedom, that Jupiter freedom, that Sun, Jupiter, new moon in Cancer. I want to be free, so free, like the bird flying in the tree. That's another song. I'm going to have to decide on just exactly which song is best for this week. But in the meantime, I'm going to bid you farewell, wish you the best week that ever, and say namaste, aloha, so much love.